Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, the Unicron Watch continues. Devastator pre-orders are open for the Flame Toys version, and Fans Toys shows off color images of a Masterpiece scaled air raid. Today is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019, and this is episode 349 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that always makes our non-incriminating recordings classified top secret and doesn't share the full transcripts. For reasons. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Yusuf, better known as Yoshi.
Yo, everybody.
Jeremy, a.k.a. Yakko.
Hey, how you doing?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. Let's talk Transformers.
All right. As always, we start off by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you so much for continuing to support us, and you make the show possible. If you are not already a Donatreon and would like to become one, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And you can also support us by buying some merchandise, which is you can find at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And that is our TeePublic store. We got lots of cool designs there done by us and by a friend of the show, K-Girl. And you can check out her store at teepublic.com/user/superstark. And also check out the stuff she's selling at TFCon DC in just a few weeks. Another awesome perk of being a Donatron is being automatically entered into our monthly Toy Hacks $10 gift code drawing. And we are going to do the drawing for September right now. We're a little bit late, but it's okay. It's still September as we record, even though it's October when this show goes up.
We got their money. They have to wait for us.
Yes, and we do this contest every month. As we say always, you don't have to be a Donatron to be entered in this contest, but you do get entered automatically. If you are not a Donatron, you need to send an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com and tell us you would like to enter for that month, and then tell us send us a picture of a Transformers figure that you would like to get some Toy Hacks labels for, and you'll get entered into the pool. But as of now, all our Donatrons are already in the pool. So,
I have a question.
You are not allowed to enter the contest, Yoshi.
Is my significant other allowed to?
No.
Okay.
Also, your estranged cousin that has a similar name is also not allowed.
Euphis can't enter either? Really?
Weirdly, though, your brother-in-law is already entered into the contest because he's a Donatron, but
It's a money thing, isn't it?
Yep.
I figured. Okay.
All right, so we're going to pick that winner right now. Jeremy, is your lovely assistant ready?
Computer, are you ready?
I don't know that one.
Well, we'll see.
Off to a great start, Jeremy.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, Jeremy, if she's feeling up to it, can you ask her to pick a random number between 1 and 106?
Computer, give me a random number between 1 and 106.
Your random number between 1 and 106 is 65.
Ju Kim. Congratulations.
Oh, awesome.
Right on. Congratulations.
I think you're a new winner. I don't remember pulling your name before, so that's great. It's always nice to see new people win.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So we will contact you and get you your $10 gift code from toyhacks.com, and you can go crazy, get some labels, and if you get a chance, please show us what you bought and show us send us some pictures of things you got stickered up. I believe one of our earlier winners, Brad, was just showing off some of his figures in our Discord this week.
You mean recent winners?
What did I say?
You said earlier winners, but Brad won like in the last month or two.
But it was still earlier than now.
Well, okay, fine.
Recent winner from a month ago, Brad. Congratulations, Brad. We liked seeing your pictures. That was my point.
Yes.
Well, you just should have said it.
Thought I did, but clearly I didn't. Anyway, congratulations to Jew, and we hope you enjoy getting those stickers. Also want to remind you, our Transmission's 6th anniversary contest is still going on. We are giving away a bunch of prizes, and we have a form that you can go fill out online to enter that contest. You go to transmissionspodcast.com/6 years, the number 6. And we'd like to get people's thoughts on a favorite moment or, just something they remember fondly from the last 6 years of our podcast. And that's what you enter in the form. And we will pick a winner from all the entries.
And Charles, I would like to say that entries have gone up. It is now up to 13.
Ooh, lucky number 13. So yeah, so
Can I
you still
enter
got
that one?
No.
God.
You are barred from any transmissions contests, Yoshi. You're still nominally on the show.
Yeah, well, even if you leave the show, I think there's like a period of a year or two.
Transmissionspodcast.com/6 years. The contest will be going until October 27th, and that is the last day of TFCon DC. So, if you're at TFCon DC, remind everyone to go quickly enter that contest before the weekend's over. Grand prize winner will receive a Respect the Prime Decepticon Purple Vinyl LP, Respect the Prime Constructed Cold EP CD, and a Transmissions t-shirt of the winner's choosing. So see, Yoshi, these are not even prizes you're interested in.
I just want to win something. I've never won anything. I think it'd be cool to win.
Well, sorry, you can't win a Transmissions contest. Try another contest. Try a Radio Free Cybertron contest. You might win something there.
Remember when I didn't help us win the Knowledge Bowl at TFCon?
Yes.
And we still won? That was good times.
And runners-up will receive Respect the Prime Constructed Cold EP CD. So, and at this point, it looks like almost everyone who's entered will be a winner if we don't get any more entries. So your chances are still super high. And lastly, but not leastly, we've got some reminders for upcoming, or episodes that are already up, actually. You should see them already in your feed. Empire of Rust Episode 7 was just out on Monday. And we've got a special interview episode that Jeremy did. I think, Jeremy, this was a one for your bucket list. So who did you get to interview last week?
I got to interview, and I'm surprised you didn't call it out when you said Jeremy, aka Yakko, because I got to interview Rob Paulson, the real Yakko, and it was a bucket list item for me. So that, unfortunately, it was in the middle of the workday, and all you guys, couldn't do anything and help out. But, it was fun. I was like in shock even after. It was a great interview. I had about probably 45 minutes or so with him. It's talking about his new book, which comes out next week. We'll have a link to that in the show notes as well. Yeah, if you haven't heard it, it's in the alt mode feed or the main podcast feed if you get everything. And it's in alt mode special 9. So,
and I do have to say, I am super jealous that I was not able to join you on that. That was, and you did a great job. So that's an awesome interview. And,
thanks. And I actually left a work meeting early, like 15 minutes early, just to make sure. I didn't know if he was going to call right on time or a little early. So I don't know if my boss thinks that I'm like having an interview for a job or something. But I was just like, I got to go. I'm expecting a call.
He doesn't know you do a podcast, does he?
He does. But I didn't say what I had to leave for.
How old is he?
He's my age.
Well, tell him.
Yeah, I will. Now that it's done, I will. I didn't want to do anything that would jinx the interview.
And he did. Rob Paulson did officially bless your use of his name. So he
great, because I wasn't going to change.
So I was glad to see there was no we didn't get into any trademark violations there. So
Yeah. So it was great. I mean, this has been like the year of like doing a lot of things I never thought I'd do. And one of them was meeting him in person. And now I've actually got to spend 45 minutes talking with him. So it was great.
And he knows your name. He said he used your name several times. So.
It was probably on a sheet of paper in front of him. But yeah, I mean, he's like one of the great interview guests because he's like constantly, referencing your name. It makes it more personal. So, I know that's an interview trick, but it still, felt good. Yeah, check out the interview. It was out for everyone Monday, and Donatreon's got it on Friday. So that's another perk of being a Donatreon. Sometimes you get really special stuff early.
Very cool. So yeah, everyone check that out. And if you haven't seen it already in the feed, there's a link in the show notes. So, all right, well, let's talk about some toys.
All right, and we're gonna get the show going here with Haslab's Unicron Watch. And once again, we take a look at the current number of backers that we've got for the crowdfund project, and we've hit a bit of a steady climb in the last little while. The number of backers that we got increased from last week is the exact same number that we had increased the week before.
So one. In the last 15 minutes, it increased by one.
Hey, look at that. So now we've gained 45 backers in the last week. The current number is 5,756. We're really short here, people. We need to be at 8,000 backers in a week. I know that we're expecting a lot of websites and stuff to kind of filter in. Anything from Kapow is likely to come in. Is it going to be enough? I mean, we're looking at 250. Well, not more than that. A couple thousand here still, actually. So that's an awful lot of backers to kind of equal what we need in a week. What is the actual number? I'm trying to figure it out. It's
2,250.
2,250. So yeah. So we need a bunch here in a week. The first time that we had that last week before they extended it, we got 1,500 in that week. These were from all the third party sellers, the kind of aftermarket sellers, that kind of stuff. Big Bad, Robot Kingdom, all that kind of stuff. They were all the aftermarket.
No, I don't think those have been counted yet. The ones that
they haven't been. So who was in the 1,500 that we counted before?
That was the other affiliates that were from Hasbro. So Hasbro Australia and Takara Tomy, or Asia and Takara Tomy's orders.
So you'll have probably more orders from those areas as well.
Right. Yes, of course, because they've gained a number of time. So this is a good chunk that we've got to get added in a week. I want to stay optimistic, but this is a lot of people to add in here. I'm probably going to start checking this once a day here, just to see where we're at. But if you've been waiting, now's the time to pull the trigger here, because if we want to get this thing made, if for anything, then it's for Charles, just to let Charles get his Unicron.
If you like Charles at any level, you need to get Unicron.
Yeah.
So then when are you two going to pony up?
Yeah, it says something that none of us have.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Charles, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, this is my last transmissions, everyone. Bye, everyone.
I do have a suggestion for you guys. Since I'm not going to be on the next episode because I will be in New York. The deadline, they stopped taking backers at 11:59 p.m. EST next Sunday. That would be in the recording time. So I'd like to suggest you record alt mode first, so you have the final number in the next episode.
Don't tell us what to do, Jeremy.
Okay.
I got questions, Daryl.
All right.
So if my shitty memory serves, at San Diego Comic-Con, they implied that there were features of this figure that have not been announced yet. From my piss poor memory, the only thing that they've really shown is a small, Galvatron getting eaten as a feature.
That and the head coming off.
Well, the head comes off.
The head comes off. Have they announced anything else? Because
the multiple faces.
Oh yeah.
Oh no,
Okay.
It doesn't have lights. Yeah, that's right.
The different
faces,
chins.
Different chins. As far as like extra features go, there really aren't a lot.
The movable teeth on the planet mouth.
That was in the original release, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just, as somebody who backs Kickstarter projects fairly regularly, these guys are just not following the path that's already been laid out before them that makes these kinds of projects, these Kickstarted projects, so successful. And it's kind of puzzling to me why they're not.
Why would they? They're a giant toy company. They can do what they want.
Yeah,
if this were on Kickstarter, this would have been over already, and it would have failed. So
I don't. You're making a statement and not realizing the breadth of reach that Kickstarter themselves has on top of Hasbro that Hasbro is not using. It seems like if they wanted this to succeed, they would really be adding something or hyping it up or reminding everybody constantly. Like, I'm just not seeing a whole lot of anything.
I'm seeing a ton on Facebook.
yeah, they're all over that, and I mean, they're sending their design team around to different conventions. Like the first time ever they sent their head designer to Fan Expo in Canada. They've never ever had a presence in Canada,
And they sent them to Mexico, that convention there.
right? They're doing more than they've ever done before for this project to kind of hype it up. Now, it would have been better if they kind of brought the Unicron figure to Fan Expo that people could have seen, but I understand the thing's massive and it's, getting it across, national borders is difficult, right? But it's, I fully expect it to be in New York. They've done an awful lot. I can't click through Facebook without seeing this thing at least 3 times, Yeah, it's everywhere for me anyway.
Well, that's the interesting thing of social media. Like, I'm not seeing it.
Apparently, I mean, I'm getting to the point where I'm almost sick of it. Like, I'm getting ready for the Kickstarter to be over with, whether it succeeds or fails. I'd rather it succeeds, but then the waiting game begins for it to be, for people to start getting them, because I'm just ready to stop being bombarded with images of it. But it's a cool project. I mean, I'm excited for people who may or may not get it. It's, if they get it, fantastic. If they don't, it's unfortunate. But, we've got a week left, and if the numbers aren't there, I'm really interested to see what they do, because they did say that if it doesn't succeed, then they're just going to shelve it. And they gave it a hell of a lot more time with the extension to succeed. And if it doesn't, then, man, that's a lot of wasted time. But I think it'll make it happen.
I am kind of scratching my head as to why they set the target at 8. Like the Jabba sail barge, they set that at 5,000, but they set Unicron at 8,000. And I would think
probably because of the cost of development of the figure. Sail barge is a fairly simple thing. I mean, it's big, but it doesn't do near the amount of things that Unicron does.
It's just a playset, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of design that went into Unicron, right? 2 years of development. I can't imagine the sail barge took 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? And it's still in scale with current 3 3/4 inch figures, right? The sail barge.
I don't know.
It's definitely not in scale with 6 inch, right? Like, that's insane. So, right? So it's got to be in scale with 3 3/4 inch, and that's still massive. Like, it's a huge project, but it's just a playset. It's just panels. It's a lot of panels, right? Unicron's big. It's huge. It's also fitting in that like that massive scale, but it's, the sail barge doesn't have to do a lot. It may have some opening doors and some cool little compartments and stuff like that, but it doesn't turn into something completely different. So there's a little level of intricacy to the Unicron that the sail barge doesn't have. So I understand them having to do a lot. It's time. So they've got to have almost 2 full toys here with the Unicron full of molds to make. And yeah, I mean, somebody did the math early on. It's like $4.6 million they've got to raise with 8,000 backers, right? Okay, that's a lot of money, right? But they've also got how many people they've got to pay along the way, right? Like, there's a lot of people that got to make their money regardless of whether this thing gets funded or not.
But the design is done.
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, I wonder just how much that process alone costs if they can afford to have it fail on them.
Well, that's the whole point, right? Is these people still worked for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, it's a lot of work on one designer, but that designer was a really, a very highly regarded designer. So I'm sure he's not paid peanuts, right? So he had to work for 2 years on this thing.
But he's salaried. He would have been paid regardless of what he worked on.
Sure, I
think the bulk of what they need the crowdfunding for is the molds themselves, and then producing the figures in bulk.
Yeah,
the design is largely just a sunk cost.
Yeah, so it's expensive, and a lot of people we're getting really antsy about saying, oh, it's $4.6 million. It doesn't cost that much to make a figure. Well, yeah. One big figure like this, yeah. Maybe it does. There's a lot of stuff involved. We've learned over the course of doing the show that to do a masterpiece, maybe not even a masterpiece, maybe just a deluxe scale figure, just to do the molds for it, it'll cost you about $150,000. Right?
And then you have to go through the testing and stuff. They have to go through all the safety tests that third parties don't have to do.
Exactly. So, something that big as Unicron, you're looking at a whole bunch more molds, and that's a lot of money. So
in the world, in the version of reality where this thing doesn't succeed, and another third party pops up with a third party Unicron, is Hasbro going to shoot that down?
I think that depending on timing, I think that the likelihood is that there will be a duration of time where Hasbro, if Unicron does fail, there will be a duration of time where Hasbro will be very upset, and anything that comes to market resembling Unicron will get taken off. It's just it's kind of a scorned, kind of a feeling. They don't want, if they can't make it, nobody's making it, and they'll, for the next little while, they'll definitely take anything down, and I don't blame them for it. It's their prerogative regardless of whether it succeeds or fails. Personally, I don't see this failing. We're going to get close, and if we're within 1,000, I fully expect Hasbro to pump in the rest of those. We'd never know it. They'd never admit to it. I see this project making it.
It'll be just like the fan boats. They're going to make what they're going to make.
But it's going to be close. It's I don't think we're seeing like 10,000 backers hitting this thing.
Do we have predictions on final votes or final number of people?
Like backers?
Yeah.
8,000, right on the nose.
8,001.
Is this Price is Right?
Yeah.
Say 8,015.
7,999.
It doesn't get there.
If that happens, I'll just buy a second one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's that close, I imagine Hasbro will be like, we'll get it.
What about you, Jeremy?
I said 8,015.
Oh, right. Okay.
I want to see this thing on its own Costco pallet this Christmas.
I don't even know if that would ever happen. But yeah, it's interesting. We'll know at the end of next week how it works out. But the only other thing we got as far as Unicron news this week was that they released a new image of Unicron, and it's nothing special. It's Unicron standing in front of an image of Earth, clutching his fist, as an angry pose. It's a nice image of him. It looks like he's standing on the moon, obviously, where we know if that was real, he wouldn't be able to stand on the moon because he's way bigger. But yeah, no, it's just a cool image. They just had to put something out to kind of keep the momentum kind of going, keep the image of Unicron going. But I did have one other topic I wanted to kind of mention this week, and that's a statue that I don't usually talk about statues. It's usually Charles's bit because he loves them so much. And this is PCS Collectibles Megatron. It's a G1 museum scale statue. Does that mean it's huge? I don't think so. But anyway, they are doing, it's cell shaded. So it's a G1 Megatron. It's cell shaded. It looks good. I mean, it's 10 inches tall, and it's not overly big, but it looks good. It's obviously, like I said, it's G1. We saw a great prototype of it at San Diego Comic-Con. So they have done previous ones before, so they do have an Optimus Prime. They do have a Starscream, a Skywarp, and a Thundercracker, and a Soundwave. So the Soundwave also has a Frumble on it. This one, I'm just looking here because my store got in a Optimus Prime this week that was cel-shaded, and I believe it's this one because it looks really cool. And he was running.
Says.
Yeah, so that's interesting. My store priced it at $215 Canadian, so that seems about right with the exchange. It looks neat. Anybody interested in a cel-shaded Megatron statue?
I'm interested in a cel-shaded Megatron, but it would be the Siege figure.
I was going to say, I tend to like the cel-shaded, the fan-painted things or the statues, but the way they've done Megatron, it's almost like they went a little overboard with the cel shading color, and it's kind of more camo than it is just cel shading. You see what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah. All right.
I'm not a fan of the face. The little borders around the eyes make it look like he has like bags or something on his eyes. It's
his
really
glasses. He has robo glasses on.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm not feeling the face.
All right. Yeah, no, it's not generally my thing, so it's but it's interesting to see nonetheless. Cel shaded has definitely taken off, but that's pretty much all I brought this week. Jeremy, you are up.
Yoshi, I have a job for you. There's a job posting at Hasbro for Associate Product Designer Transformers.
Okay.
You would be brainstorming new ideas for Transformers, meeting with other designers. Coming up with new versions of the classic character. Oh, there's where it fails for you.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, if you have good graphic design skills, it says proficiency in Photoshop and Illustrator is required. Rhino, SolidWorks, and After Effects experience are a definite plus. I know SolidWorks is a 3D CAD modeling application.
Mm-hmm.
And ability to communicate in Japanese is a bonus, but not mandatory. So if you are interested in working on Transformers, we'll have a link here to the TFW post, which has a link to the job posting. And, good luck. You would have to probably be in Providence or near Providence in that area.
And you have to compete against me.
And you have to compete against Yoshi. Not too hard. But
motherfucker.
It's great, and if you are, send us a message. We'll keep you.
Send us a copy of your resume.
No, we'll just keep your information secret, and we'd be rooting for you. So
we'll keep your resume on file.
We're looking for another deep throating.
Yeah, no, but seriously, if there's, I know there's a lot of people with these skills, and great opportunity. And I'm surprised. I'd be surprised to see if like third party people that may have only been known by like a handle online, get this and kind of become legit.
When I saw this listing come up, I thought, you know what? This is Eric Graunover's deal. Get him in there for that.
Yeah, no shit, right?
But isn't he still in college?
Hey, don't label him.
He's like a sophomore, isn't it? Or he's like a sophomore or junior.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of what he wants to do. So this, I'm sure there's a ton of people.
I don't see age, Charles. I just see ability.
Okay. Usually jobs like this require a degree, though. So ability is great, but gotta get the credential too.
I'll ask my good friend John Warden.
I'm not seeing a degree on here, but that's not saying that if you actually go to apply, if it's not required. But I do have one other thing here. Saw this on Facebook from the Flame Toys account. Their Furai model Devastator is now up for pre-order on the official website d4toys.com and et-toys.com. And this is, like I said, the model kit for Devastator. It's their kind of they're designed like it's not strictly a G1 looking Devastator. It's their take on it. But it is pretty, beefy looking Devastator. Obviously,
it's very Japanese.
It's very anime.
Yeah, and obviously it doesn't combine. It's just you're building a single character.
I like the Johnny 5 shoulder cannon, though.
Yeah, that I didn't even notice that until now. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm guessing that would be from Hook. But what do you guys think? Is this something you'd be interested in?
I'd probably go for the Optimus Prime model kit over this one. It's just not. It's a little bit too stylized for me for Devastator.
Yeah,
I can't put my finger on it, but it's not. It's just not. It's not what the look I like for a Devastator. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why is he punching the bucket?
You don't know what that bucket did.
I guess not.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have to agree though with Charles. It's not the design I like, but I think it is impressive. It looks like the scoop arm actually does move. From my experience with the Optimus Prime one, they do, like, the joints and stuff are done pretty well. So it's not a statue; it's actually a movable action figure. Yoshi, Daryl, do you guys have any comments?
I think it looks really good. Their aesthetic is really their own now, and it's, yeah, sure, it's very Japanese, but it's also like you getting to look at a different version of what G1 Transformers would look like in a different universe, a Japanese universe, an anime universe, and I don't mind it. It's cool, Would I read a comic with these characters the way they look? Probably. I don't know. Maybe. They're definitely interesting. Yeah, the proportions are kind of weird and a little off. His waist looks like it was drawn by J. Scott Campbell, where he has no organs on the inside. Well, he doesn't because he's a robot, but he couldn't either because they're too small. I like the way it's just kind of weird and there's bulk in spots where you wouldn't expect bulk. Like, those thighs are thick. But I like it. It's just, it looks, there's no way that these components become vehicles, like, ever. And it's a fun way to look at Devastator, So yeah, I don't know if I'd like to see how it scales with the Optimus or the Starscream or something like that, because if it's bigger, like if it does scale pretty well, like if the Optimus maybe comes up to his hips or something like that, then that'd be kind of cool.
It does say it's 180 millimeters from the bottom to the top. I'm not sure what that is.
18 centimeters tall.
I don't know what the Optimus is.
I don't either. But yeah, so I mean, 18 centimeters is not a whole lot. So it's tall enough, but it's. I just like it. It'd be neat. You'd probably, if you started wanting to get into these, you'd probably want to establish a shelf for just these because of their aesthetic being so different than everything else. But I like it. It's cool.
All right, well, that is all I have. I will say I'm going to try to meet up with them at New York Comic Con. I haven't got anything like set in stone yet. But if I do, and if I see this in person, I'll definitely report back on my next show.
Cool.
So, Yoshi, what do you got?
I think I got a couple of quick topics here from Fan Toys. Their Masterpiece game has been stepped up with some pictures of their Masterpiece scaled air raid. These are color pictures. They're going for a cartoon accurate look for this figure. And this sucker looks big, Charles. Don't you think so?
Yeah. I mean, Masterpiece scaled is...
Yeah.
These are...
But combined, this thing's going to be a fucking monster.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen some of the prototype images earlier, but yeah, I mean, this is going to be huge.
I'm seriously jonesing on seeing some Masterpiece scaled figures that aren't the Coneheads. Aren't the Seekers. So this is... I don't know why I'm so stoked about it. I just am.
Well, the plane mode looks very, it's very cool. I mean, very detailed and, unique compared to, the general Seeker design.
It's the same plane.
It still looks better. That's all I'm saying. It looks like it has a lot more detail in the plane design than the Masterpiece Seeker design. Maybe I'm just imagining that.
Well, I mean... Air Raid was an F-15 Eagle, and the Seekers were F-15 Eagles. So, I mean, I don't know whether Fans Toys has actually made Masterpiece Seekers. I don't believe they have. So, this is your way to get a F-15 Eagle from Fans Toys.
Yeah, I mean this. I was just commenting on the detail on the plane. Just looks nice.
What were you going to say, Jeremy?
Oh no, I wasn't sure if this was the F-15 or the F-14. I couldn't tell, but
definitely not F-14.
Yeah, I looked up the F-15 and it says look right for that. I think this looks great. I love the plane look with the like the black paint job on the top. That definitely sets it apart from the Seekers, and you can't really do much for this character not having kind of the robot on the bottom. But I think this thing looks really good.
I agree with you. Daryl, as our official toy guy here, do you vouch for what Fans Toys puts out? Are you excited to see this thing completely combined and monstrous and all that good stuff?
Well, I mean, Fans Toys does put out a really good product. And that's known. That's been known for a long time. Yeah, it's something about the Aerialbots. I mean, we've seen the prototype of them combined, so it's a really cool looking figure. But something about the Aerialbots to me is boring. I don't know. It's just I can't ever seem to get excited about Superion, and it's nothing against Superion. It's just I don't know. Personally, I just can't. I don't like them. They never seem to click with me, and it should be boring. Cool. It's just 5 planes, They got the most character development out of any G1 combiner, right? But I don't know. I can't seem to get behind them. They're just so boring. I don't know. That's just my personal feeling on Superion and the Aerialbots. I love the idea of jets and combining and all that kind of stuff. But anytime I ever think about kind of going after a third-party version of them, I can't do it. It's just not for me. So I That's like fine. It, and they look good. They look really good, and I love the idea of somebody getting these and kind of showing them off because I love to look at them like that. But just I can't seem to think about getting them for myself.
Okay, well that's totally understandable. Let's switch over to the Decepticons, though, Daryl, because Fans Toys also showed us some pictures of their masterpiece scaled Wildrider from... Oh, shit. What's the group called? Fuck. Just
Stunticons.
Stunticons, thank you.
Wildrider.
Wildrider. Motherfucker. But yeah, we got some prototype images. They're colored. It looks like the design is going for G1. They're not specifically saying that with the colors. But does this interest you more than a fucking Aerialbot?
Well, yeah, it does. The Stunticons are currently being overdone to the point where I honestly don't know which company is doing which because so many of them look the same. So, when somebody shows me a picture of, say, Wildrider here, they could say, what do you think of such and such Wildrider? And I'm like, are you sure this is from Fans Toys? Because it sure looks like it's X-Transbots or it's, whatever. Because they all seem to look the same to me right now. And I'm kind of getting a little burnt out of the Stunticons right now. But, I mean, at TFCon in Toronto, I was so close to buying one of the drag strips. And I think it was X-Transbots. I don't know who it was, but it looks so good. Then I had the idea of if I get the drag strip, then I'm going to have to chase down the rest of the 4. And the idea of doing that really was just, it didn't intrigue me at all. So, but I like the look of these guys. I like the fact that they're going for the G1 look, and which is, that's Fans Toys. That's their MO. So, but I think they look good. And yeah, with regards to Menasor, and I know we've talked about this before, the Stunticons and Menasor, it all depended on how the Menasor looks in the end, because there's a lot of different looking Menasors out there. The ones with the cartoon look, the ones with the toy look, a couple in between here and there. But most of the people that are going to get this are going to get them. They might transform them once or twice in individual modes, but the majority of the time they're going to be sitting in combined mode. And you got to be good with that combined mode, because that's how you're going to keep it. It's it's how you use your space. So it's just an easier way to keep 5 figures if they're all stacked on top of each other. So you can fit more on a shelf. But I like them. They look good. And if somebody's into Stunticons, then this is another really good choice. Fans Toys makes a good product as well.
Jeremy, what do you think? Are you, if you were going to buy a Stunticon set, would this be it?
I honestly don't know. I mean, the Stunticons have never really done a lot for me. I never really had them, so I have no real nostalgia for these figures. I mean, this looks fine, but like Daryl said, if Daryl can't tell the difference between the different versions, I surely can't. But I like this. I like, as much as I like any of the Stunticons, I think this one looks nice. I really like the little bits of translucent plastic, like in the chest and in his knees, to kind of let you see interior components. I think that's a nice little thing that sets these apart. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just, they all look the same to me, and I have no real passion for any of them. Gotcha.
Serious question, Charles. It's 1 year from now. It's September 29th, 2020. Is this the Wildrider you see underneath Unicron's foot on your shelf?
No.
God. Perfect setup.
I feel about the Stunticons the way Daryl feels about the Aerialbots. The Stunticons don't do it for me. So
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And the Stunticon oversaturation is real. I would like to see the Motormaster always intrigues me. Like, and it bothers, like, the original Motormaster was, it's always weird how he was the whole, both the cab and the trailer in one robot, and they've never kind of replicated that with updating the figure. The figure has always been just the cab, similar to Optimus Prime, rather than combining the cab and the trailer. And I think with Fans Toys, the trailer has all the Menasor bits here. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see if someone wants to tackle making a Motormaster that has the cab and the trailer combined. So, okay, I don't know. That's my only curiosity.
I'm just going through some pictures in a thread here. This Motormaster that comes with that Fans Toys is putting out with this set is the size of MP10 cab and trailer. So it goes along with that episode where they kind of ram head on into each other.
Right.
Which is kind of cool. The combined modes of both Aerialbots and Stunticons are kind of visible here. Apparently this Menasor is capable of doing both the cartoon and the toy modes, with just some kind of like swippy swap of parts, and makes it just look a little different. With regards to the combined mode having all the bits in the trailer, that seems to be how they have to work it, because Menasor was always one of those figures that the cars just kind of clipped onto the body of Menasor. They never really became anything as far as the arms and the legs, so they just kind of attached themselves to the already existing body that came out of the trailer of Motormaster. But it's an interesting kind of figure to kind of go on. But I'd be interested to see how they tackle the both modes here.
All right. Well, Charles, you're up, sir.
All right. Well, we've got rumors. From
Deep Throating?
No.
Oh.
Just regular rumors taken from... There's the Southern Hobby website that apparently has listings for upcoming 2020 toys in the Transformers Generations line. So all these rumors come from that. We've got a Battle Master sound barrier. I have no idea what that could be, but that's one listing. But the other ones are a little bit more interesting. So Looks like we've got the Micromaster Hot Rod Patrol, Micromaster Military Patrol, a deluxe Cliff Jumper, a deluxe Wheeljack, a deluxe Hoist, a deluxe Ironworks, which would that be the guy from Last Stand of the Wreckers? Iron Fist, maybe. A Voyager Grapple, a Leader Optimus Prime with trailer.
Ooh.
And the one that might cause a stir, a Voyager Starscream Earth. So they just
Starscream is going to turn into Earth.
That's one interpretation. My reading was that it would be an Earth mode Starscream, like Starscream as an Earth jet rather than as a Delta Wing, Tetrajet that they currently have. So yeah, so that seems very close together. That just a year after releasing all the Seekers as Tetrajets, we're going to get Starscream and probably other Seekers following in their jet Earth modes. Either people will be really excited or really pissed at quote unquote forced to buy yet another Seeker mold. So what's interesting to me is if the Ironworks is actually Iron Fist, that means they're really inserting the Wreckers into this line. I mean, they did Impactor. Now we've got
Springer.
We've got Springer. That's right. Iron Fist as he's a more recent from just Last Stand of the Wreckers. So that and then Wheeljack actually lost the fan vote to Impactor and Mirage. So it looks like losing the fan vote doesn't mean you never get a figure.
Talking about maximizing the chat reminds me that Ironworks was a Micromaster base in G1. It's the construction site one.
Oh, okay.
So it might be that, not the base, but it might be this
an homage to that.
Yeah, construction. The character is basically a truck with no trailer. I would like more of the Micromaster playsets, but this says it's a deluxe figure, so
yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But Daryl, is this list of upcoming figures? Are you interested in this, or is this turning you off?
Well, I avoided the Tetrajet Starscream because I really just didn't like the mold. So I wasn't really interested in that at all. So a Earth-style Starscream I would very much be interested in, seeing as I don't have any of the 7 Tetrajets that they've released. Wheeljack I think would be cool. Cliff Jumper, yeah, bring a Cliff Jumper into it. Grapple, we have not had a Grapple in a very long time. I can't even remember. Have we had an Optimus Prime in forever? I mean, it doesn't seem like we've had an Optimus Prime in at least a month. So let's have another Optimus. Why not? Yeah, I like these. The Micromasters, I haven't bought a single one of them. Like I said when they first got announced, there's really no difference between these ones that they're bringing out and the original G1 versions. The articulation really hasn't been improved. And they're homaging something that is essentially the same. So I've just been using that time and money to search out the original Micromasters. So, and plus the Hot Rod Patrol and Military Patrol originally were 4 figures. So, I might be spending close to the same amount of money and getting double the figures. So, yeah. As far as the Deluxe and Voyagers, I'm interested, yeah. Leader... it depends on what it looks like, but, if it's got a cool gimmick, I might pick up another Optimus.
Yeah, all the Micromaster packs have been 2 packs instead of 4 packs, which is, a little disappointing. So that's, But, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Daryl. These, the Deluxes and the Voyagers are interesting, and I'm curious to see what they're, and maybe if I guess the second part of War for Cybertron Siege is shifting to Earth, maybe these will all be Earth modes.
I'd be excited for a good Earth mode Wheeljack. He hasn't been a really decent race car in a while, since Generations.
All right, Yoshi, any of these tickling your G1 sensibilities?
Just general curiosity. nothing's really pulling me in right now. It's cool or it's someone's huge fuck up that this got leaked out, though.
Well, I mean, these are like stores will get listings and put them up. I mean, this happens at Walmart too. I mean, I think it's just something. This is where it's like security through obscurity. People don't generally check these, and I guess they don't care if you don't have pictures. It's it's not a big deal. I mean, I don't think Hasbro cares that this list leaked to like this relatively small fan community that.
Especially a week before they're probably going to announce it all anyway.
Yeah. I was just going to ask that. Do we expect to see something at New York?
Probably, yeah. I would guess.
Okay. All right, Jeremy, 5 fingers some of those guys.
It's all going to be before I get to New York.
Oh, okay.
They heard
still
I was
try,
coming.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
They heard I was coming, and they're like, let's do everything while he's still in a plane.
Well, what do you, anything you might be looking out for? Like if you get to the display case at New York Comic Con after the event, maybe.
Well, considering they're not going to have a display case, but if they did, I would like to see a cliff jumper, especially since they haven't done a Bumblebee yet. Mm-hmm. I would think this would be kind of a similar mold. Wheeljack, I really want to get the episode 1 version of cliff jumper, or not cliff, of Wheeljack. The kind of space minivan that had Bumblebee in the back. That's a figure we've never had in the official line. I would really like to see them tackle that. But if we're moving to more Earth modes, I'm thinking we probably won't.
Right.
And outside of that, I mean, we know what a Starscream Earth mode is going to look like. We know what Optimus Prime is going to look like. It's just more of these other... And then Ironworks, if they can do something to homage that Micromaster playset, I think that'd be really cool.
All right. Well, that's all of our toys. So let's move on to some rapid fire toys.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Nobody can get the job done faster than I can. Nobody.
All right. And this week, since we did the drawing for Toy Hacks, we've got another Toy Hacks update. This is for September. And this is a really fun one because Toy Hacks has brought back their 1 cent promo set, and this one is for their Siege Omega, the Omega Supreme Countdown Micromaster Rocket Base, and they want to make sure it's noted that the label set only includes labels for Rocket portion and Countdown figure of Omega Supreme toy. So it is 1 cent, but the regular Omega Supreme toy is going to have its own set, so you want to get this here. It's still cool. It's still nice to have all this, but this is a nice little bonus piece to have for Omega Supreme. It's a lot of stuff. There's going to be a big set for Omega Supreme. Toy Hacks hasn't done this in I think it's been a year since they've done it, or 2 years, since they've done it. Last, but it's always nice to have them do a 1 cent promo, so get in on that. We've got a set for both cartoon and toy accurate refractors. Take a look at those. They got the G1 and the Siege refractors. So if you've went out and spent the money on 3 individual Siege refractors, then go out and get this one. Or if you've been able to get the HasCon exclusive, or just here at Toys R Us, you can go to Toys R Us and get it. But so you can get these this set for both the G1 and the Siege version. If you'd like to complete your Siege Seekers, you've got the tail fin add-on and labels for Skywarp. So take a look at that. It's likely, I believe it's the last one that they've had to do. So take a look if you're looking to get all the Tailfin add-ons. I think that's a really cool add-on that they've done for Toy Hacks there. They've got a couple couple sets for the Sideswipe, Covert Clone Sideswipe, which is turning G2 Sideswipe into a couple different things. So one, You can turn G2 Sideswipe into really super G2 accurateness with a bunch of different stickers that'll make them look super G2 with all the really neon green stickers, which is really cool, a really great homage to that. Or if you want to go crazy and you don't want to try and do anything G2 with them, you can take that black Lamborghini looking thing and you can turn it into a Batman Beyond Batmobile looking thing, which I think is probably even cooler.
Yeah, these both look really cool.
Yeah, they do. So take a look at those. I think the Batman one is really cool and a really neat idea that, it's a really, really cool crossover. If you've also got Siege Slam Dance, because you also did get the, if you got the G2 Sideswipe, then you got Siege Slam Dance. There's a label set on here for that as well. So take a look there. If you are getting into those MicroMasters and you've got the Sports Car Patrol, these are the set for them. It's just a couple stickers for these small vehicles. If you're still doing the MP, the cell shaded for the MP figures, Masterpiece Sunstreaker now has a set for him to get cell shaded on. And lastly, because they were getting bugged about it constantly, the Jinbao oversized Warbitron set has now been upscaled. So if you've got a oversized Bruticus, the Jinbao oversized Warbitron Bruticus, they have done a set of stickers for that. It's massive. I actually have the Warbitron, the oversized Warbitron, and it's incredibly big. So I don't know whether I do the set for it, but it looks like it would take a very long time because the figure is so damn big. That is the Toy Hacks update for September, and that's it for Rapid Fire.
All right, let's move on to some trips to the store. This is where we show off all the amazing Transformers stuff we got this week. We do this as a video that you can see on YouTube, or you can listen to the audio right here in the podcast as we describe everything to you in loving detail. But you should definitely pop over to our YouTube channel and see the video so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, well, let's talk about stuff we got this week. Let's start off with Yoshi. Back again. What do you got this week?
I'm glad you asked, Charles. Hasbro Pulse got off their asses and sent me the Cassetticons that I asked for. You may remember that infamous episode where the whole time I was just saying, fuck.
Yeah, you may also remember last week's trips to the store where I showed them off, because I got them too.
And I complained.
Oh, so we're fuck buddies. There we go. But yeah, so since Charles showed them off, I don't need to waste time. I'm kind of wishing now I had got that Comic-Con Bumblebee with the tape drawers, so I had those tapes now. I'm sucked into the rabbit hole. Fuck off, Daryl. I thought you were grabbing it. I'm sorry. I thought you were just
because I
still have Daryl's.
Oh, okay. If you want to switch our addresses, I won't be mad at you. Daryl, I can't vouch for, but I won't be mad at you.
Are you? How did you like the mismatched cards on your tape set there?
Oh, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I wanted the figures. I don't want the cards. I'm actually going to bust these out and play with them.
Oh, cool.
I got the. I told you guys I got the other
Charles
tapes from Walmart.
Which one to send you?
But yeah, I told you I got the other tapes from Walmart, and my kid just loves them. She just plays with them constantly.
All right, well,
I'm done.
Okay. I have just a couple of comics this week. Transformers Galaxies #1 came out last week. There's the Livio Ramondelli cover and the Nick Roche cover. I did not get the Casey Collar cover because my store didn't have it, so sad face. But these are good. So we reviewed that last week, so check out Alt Mode last week to hear our thoughts on that. All right, Jeremy, what do you got?
Well, I thought I had nothing, and I was going to have to go to the vault, but then I remembered when Yoshi showed his thing off. After bitching about Hasbro Pulse last week, I got a shipping notice around like 12:30 in the morning, and then it showed up the next day. So they must have somehow seen the stream and like, we got to get this guy his thing. So I also got the cassettes.
Yay.
Mismatched back, whatever. It's not like it would be, super accurate anyway because of the whole 35 on the art. But yeah, I mean, these look great. I'm not sure if I'm going to open them yet. I'm just excited to have more tapes in my life. And I will be picking up the Galaxies #1 so I can get Livio to sign it next week. So,
all right, Daryl, what do you got?
Oh, me? Not much. I do also have Galaxies #1. So I picked up the Livio cover. It's the cover that they gave me, and when I got to the store to see if there were more, they were sold out. So I'm happy to report that my store was sold out of them, and I was limited to one. I would have bought more than one copy, but just one. So, yeah. I'll be on the lookout for more copies as I travel around and maybe come across a couple more, but I'm happy with the one I got right now.
It's a good problem to have for the IDW side.
A couple things this week that were thanks to friend of the show, Dogcades. He had made something for himself, and subsequently, simply because he needed to use the rest of the piece of paper, he made 119 more of them. So this is 119 reflector labels, simply to put on the HasCon or Toys R Us exclusive reflectors, the camera ones, the ones that look like the camera.
And then you found out the toy hacks.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've got 119 of these labels. Charles, I'm going to give them to you. I might keep one for myself, just in case I get one. But yeah, they're from Dogcades.
So I need to buy 117 more reflectors, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, or we'll just take them to conventions and anybody that we see that has one and be like, or ask them, did you get that one? Here's a label. And we'll
just go stick them on mirrors.
Yeah,
this is a reflector.
But he also on Friday he sent out a tweet saying that the Walmart near both our houses actually got the most recent wave of mini-cons. So I ran over there and grabbed Warpath for myself, because he's really the only one I wanted to have on a card, because eventually I'll see Alan Oppenheimer at a convention and I'll get him to sign it. So I picked up Warpath for myself.
Nice.
So that was really cool. So thanks to Dogcades, I found it. I picked up a couple figures this week. This is a couple accelerators from the G2 that kind of complete the accelerators for me. So this is Windbreaker and Rapido. So these are two G2 figures that I'd never had before, and they're just kind of small little cars that, they're fun. But they always seem to have lost their engines, because that's their gun, and these both have them. So I'm happy to have those. A couple G1 figures that, once again, I'd never had before. We've got fan favorite from his time in More Than Meets the Eye, Crankcase. And this is Backstreet's back. All right. So, yeah, they're just some fun kind of trigger bots, trigger cons. Yeah, they're neat. Just interesting little parts of the G1 collection that just kind of gotta get if I'm going to complete the G1 collection. But the real big thing that I got this week that I'm pretty happy that I was just able to kind of check off the list was something that I honestly never thought I'd ever get. So this was kind of fun. I picked up a couple Pretenders this week. This is Bird Brain. This is Wildfly. They have some friends. This is This is Slog. And this is Ice Pick.
Did you get all the Pretender monsters?
And they have a couple more friends. This is Bristleback. And this is Scowl.
Wow.
And then they had a whole bunch of these little bits and pieces, guns and stuff that go with them. But I didn't really care too much about those guys. I wanted the bits inside. I have Monstructor.
Ooh. That's a find.
That is a find. That's something that I've been kind of eyeing. I've seen it only once or twice in person. Never actually thought I'd get it. But it's now mine. So the Bristleback here, he's got a lot of gold plastic. Scowl, I think it's Scowl. Slog is his name, actually. So Slog is the centerpiece here. He's like all gold plastic. And so there's a lot of, being very delicate here to kind of put him together. But he's tiny. Like, he's real tiny. That's the card for comparison.
Wow.
So
he's a Micromaster combiner.
He's very tiny. Micromaster Pretender combiner. Yeah. So he's pretty small. He costs a lot. So yeah, but I'm happy to have him. He is G1, but he goes in that cabinet. So
yeah, he's
that's
never to be touched again.
Yeah, that's a do not touch that figure. But yeah, so this was a good week for my G1 collection. I definitely checked off a couple hard to find figures this week.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and we will finish up the show with convention news.
All right, we have news from Comic-Con Paris 2019. They are going to have the convention exclusive Ghostbusters, X Transformers, Masterpiece, MP10G, Optimus Prime, Ecto 35 edition, exclusively at Comic-Con Paris 2019. You cannot get this anywhere else except for everywhere else you can get this. So maybe it's not available in France anywhere else, but if you are going to
available in stores,
yes. Although if you go to this link in the website to Micromania Zing, I think you can buy it there in France. So
I think Hasbro doesn't know the definition of exclusive anymore.
I think we include things like this just to kind of needle Yoshi just a little bit.
It's working. It's fucking working.
All right. And in a special, this is going to happen before Alt Mode comes out, so we're putting it here. IDW has announced their New York Comic Con panel and signings. Friday, October 4th, they're going to have IDW Publishing 20 Years and Beyond from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., room 1A02 at the Javits Center. And this will have behind-the-scenes secrets of your favorite IDW comics, Lock and Key, Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. They're going to talk about some upcoming projects, and this is going to have John Barber and probably some other guests that they haven't announced. And I will actually be there in the audience of this. So if you're going to be at New York Comic Con and you want to make sure you can find me, that's where I will be at a specific time.
I will give you $50 if every question you ask them is related to Tom B. Long.
I don't know if I can do that, but we'll see.
That's like a figure, dude.
I'll ask if they filled their letter position. They will also have signings in their booth, number 1844, Thursday, October 3rd, from 3 to 4 p.m., Transformers, Ghostbusters, Eric Burnham, and that sucks because I'm not going to be there. Friday, October 4th, from 4 to 5 p.m., Transformers, John Barber, Alex Milne, Livio Ramondelli, and Andrew Griffith. And they're... What?
Alex isn't going to be there.
Oh, he's dropped out?
Yeah.
Okay, well...
Due to health concerns, he has dropped out of New York.
Okay, well, hope he gets better. I remember seeing about that. Yeah. So yeah, seriously, hope he gets better. And we also have at their booth, they're going to have the Transformers Ghostbusters #1 Con variant cover by Dan Schoening. It's $10 a piece, and they have 100 copies. That is it for the IDW stuff at New York Comic Con. As I said, I will be there, so look for some at-show reporting in 2 weeks. So, maybe earlier if you're a Donatreon. Don't know.
All right. So we do have some feedback, but unfortunately the show ran long, so we're not going to be able to fit it in this week. But we will get to your feedback.
We are so sorry, Will. Sorry.
We appreciate it. It's a good question, too, so I'd like to dig into this, but I think it deserves a little bit of a discussion. I think this is a little something we can dig into. So we will save that and hopefully come to it next week. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Does anybody want to talk about that poopy thing?
I thought about grabbing it, but I'm like, it's not.
What did I miss? I'm interested. What happened?
Look in the suggestions.
Okay.
The Hangry's World's Poopiest Robots, Pooptimus Prime.
Guys, we're leaving so many jokes on the table right now. I'm kind of disappointed. Control F, poop. The world's poopiest robots. There's been 3 waves of this shit?
Apparently. No, I mean, well...
Literally.
Yeah.
Packed with Pooptimus Prime figures spotted in U.S. retail. The Turdinator. God, this is perfect. Kellogg's Frosted Farts. Mac and cheese.
Sounds like Yoshi's going to take it.
Well, I mean, Jesus. I mean, I know it's low-hanging fruit, but what's wrong with having fun and laughing?
Nothing.
This is a very serious show. Like, just like I'm telling my kid all the time. I'm like, there's not time to joke. Everything is serious business.
$30? This is a steal.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that always makes our non-incriminating...
This is you weren't going to be able
Starting to regret it, aren't you, buddy?
Well, you'd stuck with my intro.
I'm still going to do it.
Stuck with mine.
I'm going to do it.
Mine only had one big word in it. I made it nice and simple for you.
Mine was easy too.
You might be a doctor, but you can't read good.
I could read perfectly okay.
Perfectly well. See.
Take 2.
Welcome to...